Hello everyone, it's Annie and I'm here today with my May TBR. Even though it is going to be summer, it's still pretty cold here, so I'm in a sweater. I cannot for the life of me decide on a definitive list of the things I'm going to read in May. There are just so many books I want to read, and my plan is to read all Asian and Asian American plus Pacific Islander authors, with the exception of one book. But there are just way too many that I really want to read, so I can't decide. So I'm giving myself a big list, and then I'm going to be picking and choosing and mood reading throughout the month. So let's get started. The first one is When I'm Gone, Look for Me in the East by Quan Berry. I just went to the library and picked this up. It is a very new release, and this is by the author of We Write Upon Sticks, which I have not read, but I've heard amazing things about. I'm picking this one up primarily because it is set in Mongolia, and I haven't read a lot of books set in Mongolia, so that's interesting to me. And also because it has the word East in it, and the Buzzwordathon challenge for May is a directional word, so north, south, east, and west. And I'm really happy that this fits because this was already on my TBR, so I will be reading this. It follows twins also, which is really cool. I like twin stories for some reason. The young monk Chulun sets out with his identical twin Moon, who has rejected the monastic life they once shared. They are tasked with finding the reincarnation of a great Lama, a spiritual teacher who may have been born anywhere in the vast Mongolian landscape. And these twins' relationship will be tested on this journey through their homeland. Yeah, very interesting. And then let's talk about all the choices I have for the Sapphic reading vlog that I'm going to do in May. There are 4 choices. I couldn't decide. First, I have The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri, which I have been wanting to read forever, but I have not gotten around to it. And this is an Indian-inspired fantasy. It is quite thick, so that is my only caveat with this. I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have in May, so we'll see. This is kind of my last month of freedom before I start grad school and also a new job, so we will see. And this follows Princess Malini, who was trapped by her despotic brother within the crumbling walls of an ancient temple and dreams of vengeance. Forced to disavow her birthright and her power because of her past, the maidservant Priya dreams of freedom. In a world beset by wild magic and turbulent uprising, their destinies will become irrevocably tangled, and together they will set an empire ablaze. Sounds amazing. Like I said, I really want to read it. I just don't know if I'll have the time this month. Okay, so the next choice is a book I've talked about quite a lot. Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki, or Rika. This is one of my most anticipated 5-star predictions. It is a sci-fi, it is sapphic, and it's whimsical. So it's described as Good Omens meets The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. It is a defiantly joyful adventure set in California's San Gabriel Valley with cursed violins, Faustian bargains, and queer alien courtship over fresh-made donuts. So this follows Shizuka Satomi, who made a deal with the devil. To escape damnation, she must entice 7 other violin prodigies to trade their souls for success. She's already delivered 6. When Katrina, a young transgender runaway, catches Shizuka's ear with her wild talent, Shizuka can almost feel the curse lifting. She's found her final candidate. But in a donut shop off a bustling highway, Shizuka meets Lan Tran, a retired starship captain, interstellar refugee, and mother of 4. Shizuka doesn't have time for crushes or coffee dates, what with her very soul on the line. But Lan's kind smile and eyes like stars might just redefine a soul's worth. Very interesting stuff. I am super excited about reading this. I do have a lot of choices for this vlog, but this is probably a definite. And then we have The Verifiers by Jane Peck, which was one of my Book of the Month picks. I am filming this before April ends, so I might actually read this yet before the end of April. I'm not sure if I have time. but if not, it definitely fits for next month. And this is a literary mystery centering on a character named Claudia Lynn, who is used to disregarding her fractious family's model minority expectations. She has no interest in finding either a conventional career or a nice Chinese boy. So yeah, she is Sapphic. She has just been recruited by Veracity, an online dating detective agency in New York with its own secrets. She is a lifelong mystery reader who wrote her senior thesis on Jane Austen. But when a client goes missing at Veracity, Claudia starts digging deeper than she's supposed to, right into a maelstrom of intrigue and deceit. Interesting. I have not read any reviews, but the reviews on Goodreads are not good for this. And I don't know why. I'm a little nervous. So we'll see if and when I read this. And then my other goal for this month is to read as many of my Netgalley ARCs as I can, because I got really behind and I actually ended up having things archived on me without ever downloading them, so that is very sad, and I don't want that to happen again. So the final choice for the Sapphic reading vlog is Dauntless by Elisa A. Bonin, and this is one of my most anticipated releases. It is Sapphic, of course, and it is a Filipino-inspired young adult fantasy. It is about Seri, whose world is defined by very clear rules. The beasts prowl the forest paths and hunt the people. The valiant explore the unknown world, kill the beasts, and gain strength from the armor they make from them. As an assistant to Ashai Unbroken, a young valor commander with a near-mythical reputation, Seri has seen firsthand the struggle to keep the beasts at bay and ensure the safety of the spreading trees where the people make their homes. Until the day Seri encounters Tsana, who is a stranger from an unknown world who can communicate with the beasts, a fact that makes Seri begin to doubt everything she's ever been taught. As Seri and Sana grow closer, their worlds collide with deadly consequences. Yeah, very interesting stuff. I am so excited for this book. Gorgeous cover, gorgeous synopsis, yes. And then another one of my Netgalley ARCs that is actually already released is An Arrow to the Moon by Emily X.R. Penn. I love this cover. That's the main reason why I am so interested in it, if I'm being honest. It is not Sapphic, but it is described as Romeo and Juliet meets Chinese mythology. That's all I know about it. It has gotten pretty good reviews so far. I know Emily X.R. Penn wrote Astonishing Color of Ever After, which I have not read, but also is very popular. So I'm hoping to read this because I really need my Netgalley percentage to stay up. And then we have a YA historical fiction, which is Gold Mountain by Betty G. Yee. Again, an ARC. This is really interesting. I didn't put it on any of my anticipated lists, but I saw it on Netgalley as a read now and I just picked it up because it sounded really cool. There is this girl named Tam Ling Fan who disguises herself as a boy, as her brother, to take his contract to work on the Central Pacific Railroad Company in America. So this is based on a lot of the migrant Chinese workers who came to work on the Transcontinental Railroad in the 1800s. And it sounds really interesting because, you know, it kind of has that little Mulan thing where she disguises herself as a boy, but someone threatens to expose her secret and she must take an even greater risk to save what's left of her family and to escape the Gold Mountain alive. Yeah, so this is not normally something I reach for, I guess, but it definitely sounds really interesting and I don't know much about this time period, so I'm looking forward to it. And then we have another historical fiction that I have been wanting to read for a very long time, which is Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeline Tien. It takes us inside an extended family in China, showing us the lives of two successive generations, those who lived through Mao's Cultural Revolution and their children who became the students protesting in Tiananmen Square. At the center of this story are two young women, Marie and Ai Ming. Through their relationship, Marie strives to piece together the tale of her fractured family in present-day Vancouver, seeking answers in the fragile layers of their collective story. I have been interested in this book for years, and I am excited to finally get to read it. It is quite long, but I think it's definitely one that I will be picking up. And then we have a very new release that I'm very excited about. It is Queen of the Tiles by Hannah Alcoff. I read The Weight of Our Sky by her and I loved it. She's a Malaysian author and this just sounds completely super interesting. It is a YA mystery thriller about the world of competitive Scrabble. A teen girl is forced to investigate the mysterious death of her best friend, who was kind of like the Scrabble queen, like the champion, after her friend's Instagram comes back to life with cryptic posts and messages. So this sounds like it's going to be a super fun mystery and kind of like the Queen's Gambit. I'm very, very interested in this. I just hope I have enough time to read it. And then we have another long book. It is Kaikei, which is something I'm really excited to read. It was my book of the month pick last month, and it is a retelling of a woman's story, Kaikei's story from the Ramayana, which is a poem from like ancient India. And so it's in the lines of Circe and Ariadne, like taking an fairly unknown woman's story from mythology and kind of retelling it and giving her her own voice. So I'm really interested in reading this. I'm super excited that I got it from Book of the Month, but I just don't know, like, look, it's so long. I don't know if I'll be able to have time to read it in May, but if I have time, I really, really want to read it. It just looks gorgeous and I've heard nothing but good things about it. And lastly, the one book that is not by an Asian author is The Bonefire. This is our found in translation book pick for May, and it is by a Hungarian author. And it is set in a unnamed or like fictional Eastern European nation around World War II and the fall of the Iron Curtain, so 2 timelines. It is about a girl who is removed from an orphanage by a grandmother she's never met, and her parents died in a car accident, and she is hopeful that her grandmother can give her a family, but her grandmother is kind of mean and maybe even a witch. So this is like described as a post-Soviet chiller, and it also seems like it has some elements of fantasy in there as well as being a historical fiction book. So I am really interested in this. We will see. It is also quite long, almost 500 pages, so we'll see, but I'm very excited to read this for the book club. So that is it for my May TBR. Hopefully I can read all of these books, and I'm really interested in hearing about what books you're planning to read in May, so definitely let me know down below. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye!